Hello everyone, welcome to RRC Friday Night Race Said, and it's Friday, which kind of says it in the title, doesn't it really? But so it's a bit of a giveaway. But we are here for FNR racing around the most difficult track, the most hardest track, the track where you require the most skill, the most concentration. And it is the Monaco Grand Prix. It's the jewel in the crown of Formula One. It really is that. And we are 10 seconds into this absolutely stunning facility here in Monaco. I am just, as I make no sense at the moment, that's because I am trying to do two things at once, which is never a good sign. I'm just trying to share the old stream then in the race stream as well. And look at that, first time as well. I got to say I'm on form tonight. So yep, this is a good start. Start as I'm meaning to go on then here in Monaco as well. Fantastic stuff indeed. And at the moment I've got 0 viewers, but 2 comments then, which is always a good sign, as I've already driven away I've already driven away the fans then, so that's absolutely good stuff indeed then, as I'm sat on the floor at the moment, and that ain't going to help, is it? Because the weight of my belly is going to absolutely destroy the weight of my bottom. So I better get up and I better have a comfortable seat then, because this is going to be fast and furious action then, as we are in the first part of qualifying then, the most important qualifying of the season. Absolutely, you can bet your bottom dollar on that, definitely. It really is. That is well, you got to nail this lap as well, and you got to nail the lap, you got to nail this lap as well, around such a narrow circuit as well. But I've said as well so many times as well. Let me just quickly get the championship up, shall we? And of course there is also silver being broadcast tonight as well, I believe, so keep an eye on the silver stream as well if you can. I'm sure it'll be posted in the stream section in a minute as well. And the reason why that is important is because gold and because of course there is basically two championships combined, isn't it? It's of course whatever happens in silver impacts the gold and vice versa as well. And we have 40 drivers. Well, I think we got 38 now, but we do have 40 drivers signed up then for Friday night racing. I gotta say it's becoming a part of your weekend viewing, isn't it? Of course, being on that Friday nights, isn't it? Let's just quickly go through the drivers and the constructors. Or let's go through the constructors and the drivers, shall we? In the constructors then, it is still Mercedes then who are leading at the top of the tree then, it's 303 points then. 36 points back is the Toro Rosso team, and then we have Racing Point 2, will be known as Aston Martin in a couple of years time, on 64. 103 points back is the Renault team, followed by the Williams team, 118. Very close between Williams and Haas. 2 points separates those two teams, 120 points. Alfa Romeo 20 points away from the Haas team. Ferrari 145 with McLaren on 107, and Red Bull unfortunately haven't got up to the 3-digit mark yet, unfortunately, but I'm sure they will. Yellow flag in the swimming pool section. The second part of the swimming pool section is one of the Ferraris that is just trying to I think it was just trying to back off, wasn't he? In the gold championship we have Murphy, who is leading by 50 points so far. That Daniel is pretty good at the moment, isn't he? And he's a very good racing driver at the moment, isn't he? Very good indeed. Jonathan Cox is second then. The only two men there on above the 100, and that's a car off as Indigo has gone fast as I was stringing out. I think he's gone straight on at Mirabeau, hasn't he? Oh dear. So stringing out, unfortunately, there is come across as he climbs over the curb, over the pavement there before coming out of Portier as well there, so that is unfortunate there for oh, look at that sunshine, absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Appy is gone at second fast moment in the Red Bull then, just coming out of Sainte Devote then, climbing up the hill then, and I gotta say it's a fantastic, and look at Fisher there. I remember as we got Andreas there in second position. By the way, he I think I've got his name right for once, as I've been calling him Ang, An and all kinds of names, but his name is Andreas, isn't it? So I've got there in the end. It's taken me 8-9 races, but I'm a slow learner, and I've got to say, I'm a very slow learner. I even don't learn at all, do I, really? So, so there we go. I'll get there eventually, I'm sure I will. Yellow flag in 2, then coming out of the tunnel, then good stuff indeed there. The only track then to oh my goodness me, own Ollie there. He is definitely his own Ollie, isn't he? Is he almost just having a out of the anti-nose corner there, very much getting, oh my goodness me, we have had a 5-place grid penalty for for Indigo then, and unfortunately, he might get a bit of violence there, won't he, Indigo? Unfortunately, he has got a 5-place grid penalty on as he has collided with Appy coming out of the seafront chicane there, so that's not good at all, is it? Yellow flags there coming down Mirabeau as well, as it's when the Ferrari drives into the pits, comes Appy then, so he might not be very happy, mightn't he? So that's not good at all there, is it? We're just watching as XR, and there's nowhere to hide tonight, is it, for XR, as he comes down into Mirabeau as well. It's very off camber, that corner. It's into the lows hairpin. Look how slow he goes there. It's usually how low can you go? It's how slow can you go around there, isn't it? About touching about 20-30 miles an hour. The slowest corner on the Formula 1 calendar, as far as I'm aware, anyway. So Ferrari there has just had a bit of an excursion down the seafront chicane. We're on board with XR then. There's the Ferrari then, and you've got to make sure you don't clip that inside bar then, accelerating on the side. Oh my goodness me, just a whisker then away from the bar side into the back. My goodness me, fantastic stuff. Into the swimming pool, the left ear. Oh, he's in the wall. He's in the wall there, and a lot of drivers have gone the wall around there, haven't they, in the past? Kovalainen for one, and we've also had one Pablo Montoya has gone in the wall backwards as well. XR is carrying on then. I think he got the damage coming up Vanity Note, and DRS right open, and there's only one DRS zone around here, and that is on the start finish rate. He goes 6 fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed from the Rocket Williams there, and he is done 11 so far. We've got Noble. Whoa, my former tag team partner Noble is he is in the Alpha Romeo. There's Murphy there, just about to get out of the way there before navigating around there, coming into Rascasse there, isn't it? Which is actually, I think it's is it like a club around there? I think it is, isn't it? I should know about clubs there. I'm also, unfortunately, I'm struggling at this point in my life there, as unfortunately, I've had to have a proper dry spell in my life, in terms of I've had not a single drop of alcohol in about a week. Of course, because of this lockdown, unfortunately, and I got to say that I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. I'm not an alcoholic. Well, I am, but obviously, because I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. But around here, then, this is part essential as well, and isn't it? With the boats there just floating out in the harbour. It's absolutely beautiful stuff indeed. Here comes Brandon then, Alexander Seafront King, car 22 then, the former number of Jenson Button, and also the number of Lewis Hamilton when he won his first title way back in 2008 then, through the swimming pool section again. Look at this, and of course they've opened up the second part of the swimming pool section back in 2003, made it slightly easier for the drivers, haven't they? Accelerating out of Rascasse then, come for Antinote and DRS wide open. Only one DRS zone around here, because the second DRS, as we got a Williams there, who is that's I think it's the other Williams, isn't it? I think it might be at Nosey. It is Nosey. As he is, it looks like he might have had a problem there at Nosey. As he is unfortunately come a cropper there, hasn't he? Come down Mirabeau there. As we're on board, Grant coming through. Oh my goodness me, coming through the swimming pool section as well there, before coming into a Rascasse and accelerating away. Yellow flags are fluttering. It's a Ferrari is going up the hill very slowly indeed. DRS wide open for Grant as well. Car 93 the Mercedes, he goes 8 fast moment, very nip and tuck between Murphy and Grant there, isn't it? Very close companions they are indeed, aren't they? Here comes Droffer coming through the Antonos as well. DRS is wide open. Oh, I love that helmet there from Droffer, very nice indeed. A bit of Marcus Ericsson-esque there from Droffer back when he first started. I'm loving that bit of blue and yellow. Wow, nice indeed then. Bit of Swedish heritage there, isn't it? Here comes forward to that, as he is coming into the loose hairpin as well then. And Grillsy there, of course, Grillsy making a nice return actually to Friday Night Racing. Good to see Grillsy back in here, and let's see what he can do then as he comes out the top hill into Casino Square. As I was saying, and I think as I was saying in the championship, what was I saying actually? I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, anyway, let's go back to the championship, shall we? Yeah, yeah, Fisher in 4th position, XR in 5th with Striggy 6th, Brandon 7th. 8th is Arangi. I don't think I've said that right either. Ollie in 9th position, and Hunter is in 10th position. Hunter, remember, leading the he's leading the Tuesday night racing, isn't he? Doing a good job there, of course. Tuesday night racing, it was a bit messy, mainly because there was a certain Ginger Rage who was trying to drive, but having no luck at all there. As I was appalling, I got to say. I wasn't even concentrating on the formation lap. I just drove straight into the back of someone. So I probably deserved a slap on the wrist, maybe even a slap in the face really for that. But there you go. That's why I should be at a party with anyone when I'm driving, because it just never goes well at all. Here comes Forrest, and my goodness me, that's a Red Bull parked in the middle of the road there, going up the hill, and Forrest there in the Pink Panther. Then he just goes up to the top of the hill. Good stuff indeed. Then let's go back to the stream, shall we? As let's take a look to see who is commenting on this and who is actually still watching this, to be honest. Of course, when they hear my voice, they're thinking, oh goodness me, not that guy again. Yeah, it's never a good sign, is it, to hear my voice? But well, you know, I think that at the moment beggars can't be choosers, so to speak, can they? I think they've scraped the bottom of the barrel to try and get me to get me here tonight, isn't it? As Forza there, I got to say, is doing a very good attempt there. It's really doing a row the boat, really, isn't it? It's going left and right, and look at that. I gotta say, and that, what's that song, Oops Upside Your Head, isn't it? I think he's doing a bit of that at the moment, isn't he? Oh wow, coming through the swimming pool section there, almost kissing the barrier there, isn't he? But my goodness me, absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there from Forza, as he's come for and he knows once again for us this, and let's see what he can do then as he comes up to the line. And what does he do? He goes at 11 fast moment for us. Happy there has done 2 laps, but he's invalidated this time. Then we got Mercedes being pushed back into the garage, and LH44 going on the outside, and Sam is also on a lap below. We've also got Jonathan Cox as well, second in the World Championship. Then it comes down into Portier now, yellow flag. Oh goodness gracious me, Grillsy has got off at the top of the hill, and we're just on board with Nosey as he is going to show us what is going on there. And oh my goodness me, of course, so we've had a couple of crashes up there, haven't we, in the wet back in 2008. And that was a cracking race. I really enjoyed the 2008 race, really good stuff indeed there. Grossy's retired and left the session now, so his return was quicker than my love life, really. So less enough said about that, the better. Anyway, coming into Rascas now then before accelerating away. John Cox's yellow flags are fluttering all around the circuit. And the British Italian driver, my goodness me, climbing on the curve there. He comes up to the line indeed, and let's see what he can do. And he goes into third fastest. Good stuff there from the British Italian driver there, racing for all his family. I have no doubt about that. Of course, the Jonathan Cox has got Italian heritage, hasn't he? And the Italians and both Spain and Italy have been really affected by this awful virus that is going around at the moment. And of course it was great to see last night all of the guys everywhere, all the guys and girls clapping for the NHS there, which is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So yeah, the human race does come together, doesn't it, when it needs to, doesn't it? Absolutely good. So that was lovely to see, wasn't it? And Indigo has retired from the session, and that is that's he's off at Mirabel. He's off at Mirabel. And oh my goodness me, that is not going to talk that. As I'm just trying to look to see who is next. I think it's sorry, I'm panicking there because I want to see what happened. But Indigo is out of qualifying, and he had a 5-place grid penalty, but now he has damaged the car. He has damaged the car in the place where where the parking spaces where Nico Rosberg, that's it, third time's a charm, was reserved for back in 2014, as apparently he snatched the brake and went into deep there. But of course we'll all say, of course, I'm not here to judge you. I'm definitely not here to judge. I've never driven a Formula 1 car, have I? Well, even people say I've never driven a car on this game either, by the looks of things, when I try and drive it. Sam got up to 9th fastest. I gotta say, I do describe Sam as a street fighter because he's very good in the on the street circuits, isn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed then for Sam. The first time I ever seen Sam race around here was actually in Monaco, and he's a very good driver indeed. Then Knowlesy is 11 seconds off the pace then, so I'd say that's a good improvement there for Knowlesy. Banter. It says Noble just get out of the way there. Exile is just coming through the tunnel then, and then blast out. As you can see, look at the light change there. That was so dramatic on the camera angle, wasn't it? And Exile then coming out of the seafront chicane as well, coming into the back. This next section of corners is absolutely splendid. Look at the commitment. Absolutely. Oh, he's hit the wall there instead of Verstappen, and even Van Dorn perhaps there. He has tapped the wall, and Exile there is not having the best of starts to this qualifying session. Just under 5 minutes to go. Indigo has left the session there, as well. I gotta say, we've had 2 guys leave the session already. Monaco can be very very hazardous to your health, to say the least. Is that Fisher in the Ferrari there is going up the hill very quick indeed. I can see there is he was flying up the hill, wasn't he? Sam in the pits, and here comes Murphy then. He has got no fuel at all, has he? Well, he has got fuel because he's going around, isn't he? But he's not exactly lightning quick, is he, for Dan? And Dan really needs to get a scoot on, so to speak. He's in 10th position at the moment. But then again, I might be judging a book by its cover here, and that's definitely one thing you shouldn't do, is judge a book by its cover. Dan is in the pits, and the Mercedes guys are swarming around him, isn't he? And Grant is invalidated someone. He's down in 12th position. I've got to say, this is getting very tasty tasty with 4 minutes to go then. Good stuff indeed. And I'm loving Granty's helmet there. I love a bit of black and gold there, isn't it? I got to say, Sam Sparrow would love that helmet. Oh, he's also touched Sparrow as well. I got to say, that second part of the swimming pool section is really catching out a lot of drivers, isn't it? Remember, it caught out Verstappen a couple of times, hasn't it? And it's also caught out Van Dorn as well. Van Dorn, maybe not the best of racing Formula 1, but he has certainly got some talent behind him, hasn't he? Really good stuff indeed. That just watching XR. We've also got Noble there, who's just coming through Rascal as well. We got Andrea there coming through the anti-nose corner as well. Yellow flags. That's a Ferrari. That's a Ferrari there, just getting away. I think it's Fisher there. He's done 5 laps. Noble's up to 12th position. Good stuff indeed there from Noble. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Appy's out on track at the moment. Then he's on and up. Oh dear, oh dear. Then as Forza comes out of the pits. Then I hope that car behind was not a no, it wasn't. It was a Noble there. It was 6 seconds per second up. Good stuff indeed. Then sorry about this. I'm floating all over the show, ain't I? And let's take a look at the comment section, shall we? As Noble there is just coming into the oh, sorry, I swallowed funny there. It's coming to the it's coming into the Casino Square now, down into Mirabeau. Jonathan Cox, good evening, Sean. Good evening, John. And how are you on this fine Friday afternoon? We got Julian there saying, "Hello, mate. Been a long time." It really has, hasn't it? Well, actually, it's only been 2 weeks, hasn't it? I think I raced. I think I was in the commentary booth back in Australia, wasn't I? Unfortunately, I wasn't here last week. What was I doing last week? Oh, I probably was babysitting my nephew or something, or working late. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't even know what I had for tea tonight. Oh yes, I do. I gotta say, I thought I'd have a cheeky little KFC substitute, and it really, because unfortunately KFC has been closed, which is probably the biggest, absolutely the biggest horror in my life so far. I do love a bit of chicken, and I fancy some lovely bonus banquet meals. Oh, and Appy's hit the wall there. It's Casino Square as he damaged the Red Bull. Remember, Red Bull are the only team not to be in the 3-digit marks in the constructors, and car 78 there might be a bit light on his bits and pieces there. Let's take a look then. And Appy there is getting a bit yeah, I don't even know what he's doing there really. I'm not sure what I'm doing, I should say. But Appy there, unfortunately, might have a bit of problems here. The yellow flag there as well. So Forza is now out on track as well in the Lowe's hairpin then. Yeah, so I did commentate last week. Not last week, the week before. And let's just say then I didn't have a very nice tea then, so I'm very disappointed in life at the moment. And hopefully KFC and McDonald's will open very soon then, because that's basically half my meals gone, really, isn't it? We've also got RH44. Hey, we've also got Brandon. Hello. Hello. We've also got Granty. Yeah, surely. As me and Granty do have a special bond, don't we? We've also got Hunter as well. Let's go. Love you, Sean. Love you, Kyle. You are the man. And of course, he is also the man in Tuesday nights as well. He's done a very good job on Tuesday nights. Remember, Tuesday night, of course, a part of the RRC franchise as well. Appy's retired from the session. Appy is the third car to go, unfortunately. What about Forza? Forza's definitely not. He has jumped right up into 10th position. Absolutely spectacular stuff. Oh, I'm loving the view from Nosey's rear here. Absolutely beautiful stuff there from Nosey there, as he loves to show off his rear, doesn't he? As he's coming through the tunnel right now there, before coming out into the blazing sunshine here in the Principality of Monaco, through the Seafrench chicane accelerator away. And Nosey, oh my goodness me, got the loud pedal too early, Nosey, and getting very squirmy indeed. They're coming through the wow, look at that there, through the first part of the swimming pool. Here comes the second part as well. Oh, he's in the wall, Nosey is with his plain black helmet then. He's a plain Jane tonight, isn't he? Comes through Anthony Notes then for the final time. Nosey is 5, 4, 3, 2. He's got one more lap, but does he need it? Definitely not. Nosey knows. He is up into 10th position. Fantastic so as well. Oh, H44 has invalidated this lap. He is, oh my goodness me, Granty is, he's 008. He's not licensed to thrill tonight, is he? He's only a 008, but he's now 2 thousandths of a second slower so far. We've also got Exile as well. We've got 2 big names there right on the cusp here. Accelerating up the Seafrench chicane then is, oh, it's Exile, and here it goes through to back as well. This is the cracking part of the lap, isn't it? Look at them flying through here. My goodness me. The bravery at the absolute utmost, isn't it? Yellow flags around Rascas. We've got 2 cars there just being a bit slow there, but I shouldn't cause any mischief, I don't think then. And now then we come up to the line. Let's see what is going to happen here. Exile's in at 9th position at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Exile. He is through. Noble is unfortunately out of qualifying there. What a a shameful Noble, because I thought he would have been through, actually, my former tag team partner. He was doing a very good job. Brandon's retired from the session. Indigo is out as well, remember. Conan to the line then. Let's see what Granty can do. Granty is staring at the abyss. No, he's not. He's actually in front of Murphy. Both Mercedes are only 13th and 14th at the moment then. Goodness me, we have lost LH44, Noble, Appy, and Grillsy. Well, that's a turn up for the books, isn't it? As into the pits comes the Williams of comes into the pits of Knowlesy's in the pits then, and he is in 11th position. Good stuff indeed. His teammates in 10th so far. Well, that's a good start to qualifying, isn't it? Oh, well, I absolutely enjoyed that session. Fantastic. This might be the most important qualifying this season, perhaps. Well, you would say in the real world of Formula 1 it is, but I don't think it is in the actual league racing. That is definitely for sure a fact, because I started 9th on a Tuesday. And to be honest, I was definitely not guaranteed points. I was not even guaranteed to get around the first 10 laps. I really wasn't. The mission of I've called is unfortunate. I don't think I'll be back anytime soon in that league. So I've also admitted it on their own YouTube channel as well. So there's no hiding anymore. If there was ever any place to hide in league racing, which there's not, well, I've basically just struck myself up there, aren't I? Really. So that's it for me. Unfortunately, on Tuesday nights, I am done and dusted. Unfortunately, these guys are also done and dusted as well. Grillsy out of qualifying and possibly out of the race as well. He might be able to get back in the session. Appy maybe not too happy with that. He's down in 18th position. Noble in 17th position. My former broadcast colleague is back in racing. It's good to see Noble back in action. LH44 in 16th position there. So unfortunately for LH, he's not in the thick of things. And Indigo there has got a 5-place grid penalty for him colliding with Happy there, which maybe he wasn't too happy about that either, was he? As we go into the qualifying 2 format now, where I'll get to on the comment section. Of course, Jonathan Cox, as I alluded to earlier, is doing it for his family, and that is absolutely brilliant stuff indeed, isn't it? So well done to Jonathan, and of course, then I absolutely echo that indeed. Then Hunter saying a TNR season is less. Keep Jonathan sweating there. Jonathan also confirming 2 points between us. Is there a reserve spot for you, Sean? With some and with a lovely kissy emoji there as well. Is it a kissy emoji, or is it? I don't know. You know, it's where it's where the emoji's got like, you know, puckers their lips up kind of thing, like mwah. So yeah, yeah. I gotta say I do have some interesting tendencies, don't I? And out of the pits then comes Jonathan Cox. As he said, he's racing for his Italian heritage, for his Italian family in this awful time in the world there, and it's great to, and I'm sure that it's great to for Jonathan to put all the problems, all the awful stuff going on in the world into the back of his mind, and as much as he can really in race there, isn't it? And it's a very difficult time, isn't it, for everyone out there? Of course, Spain also being affected as well. Of course, China, which I've heard rumours that China's getting better now as well, isn't it? But unfortunately, I don't really watch the news very often, because half of the stuff I don't really understand what's going on when I watch the news, because a lot of it's about stock markets and all that kind of jazz. I'm a simple man. I'm a simple mind. I live a very simple life, really. So yeah, I can't even fathom about money and all that kind of jazz. But yeah, of course today. So yeah, I think in terms of a serious subject is of course the virus going around, and hopefully China is getting better now. They have been in isolation now for well over a month, haven't they? So yeah, definitely our thoughts go out to everyone from here, from Friday Night Racing, from RRC, all the drivers. I sure echo this, that it's a that all our thoughts and prayers go to everyone that's been affected as well, and of course Farfair, who hasn't been involved in who has been involved, I should say, in a lot of the RRC setup and a lot of the RRC and the way the league's run there. He does run a well-oiled ship, doesn't he, so to speak? Farfair, he's like I'm trying to think of a Alan Sugar, that was it. Yeah, he's like Alan Sugar, isn't he? So Farfair. But I think that Alan Sugar has a lot more words to say than Farf does. If anyone's ever done an interview with Farf after the race, it's like trying to talk to Kimi Räikkönen after the race, isn't it? He's about a few words, but yeah, Farf, all everyone from RRC. Hope everything is all right for you, buddy, and we're all cheering for you as well. Then, as Farf did make an announcement in the chats earlier on then. So yeah, our thoughts go out to you, pal. So we're just watching Jonathan there as he's coming through to the back now then, and we're just on board then as So just saying, look, Sam saying, of course, Samuel in the Pink Panther tonight, Samuel is, and there's yellow flags there in the Sea French game. We've got a Toro Rosso. I think that's Striggy there, who is, well, it must be Striggy, because the other Toro Rosso is coming to the line now, and he goes fastest so far. Good stuff indeed. Then we've got McLaren there behind him as well, but I think I've missed, have I missed second position? No, I haven't indeed there, so I've got, oh my goodness me, I'm actually starting to get professional at this. Here comes car 13, Fisher. He's not a superstitious man, is he? Of course, last month to have car 13 was Maldonado, and his career didn't turn out too fruitful, did it? But having said that, I gotta say, a lot of people know who he is, though, doesn't he? So perhaps his career wasn't as bad as what people make out. Here comes Street coming into the line, and he is third fast. About good stuff indeed there. And then Forza has gone third fast indeed there in the Forza Racing Point. Good stuff indeed there. Here comes Andrea in third position now, and I'm saying his name wrong still. He even messaged me to tell me tell me how to pronounce it. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know why I get invited back, really. Sometimes I just like, I don't listen to the streams back because some of them are just, some of what I say is just absolutely awful, isn't it, really? Here comes Ollie. Ollie's fourth fastest. That's nothing awful about that, is it? Great stuff there from car 30 and the Ferrari. Good stuff indeed. Then Nosey is sat in the pitch to put his feet up. Nosey is, isn't he? Nosey's a man of not a man of action, is he? At the moment, or is he just sat in the pit said just cheer the way? Say with Dan as well. They're probably in the same part actually, Dan and Nosey, and they probably even forgot they're in a qualifying session perhaps. And Dan really shouldn't be forgetting he's in the qualifying session because he's leading this championship so far. Dan is. I gotta say, I do have a special bond actually with Dan, I think, and Nosey and of course Hunter. We start our F1 careers together. All three of them have had much more success than I have, even though I have won one league race as well. I actually beat Dan on track. I've also beat Nosey as well, and I've beat Hunter. No, I haven't, have I? Not yet, but I'm sure I will. I'll find a way. I also beat Granty as well. So as you can see, I'm being a very I got to be very big-headed tonight because after my appalling tea I've had, I was a bit down in the dumps, so I'm just trying to raise myself up a bit. Here comes Sam, he's going through to back now, and very close to the wall there, Sam wasn't he? My goodness me, almost kissing that wall, wasn't he? That is good stuff indeed there. Ollie just getting out of the way at the moment, and here he comes, and into Rascas. Yellow flags are fluttering in free. It's for the Ferrari driver, Sam, car 19, coming for Anthony Noakes, and only one DRS zone around here. The other place you could have the DRS zone is probably in the tunnel there, but according to the experts, all kinds of shenanigans will happen with the car, wouldn't it? Here comes Hunter coming through the line as well. I was saying how much Sam's good on the street circuit, but Hunter is not too shabby himself, and he's just underlined that as well. Fourth position as well for Hunter. Good stuff indeed there from the McLaren driver. And we've got all of Granty is invalidated. It's time that Granty was really as we got a Williams there of Nosey who's just coming out of the pit. Sorry, Dan is still in the pits at the moment there, so I think that Dan might need to. Someone needs to give him a shake, I think, and wake up because and a dropper touching the inside of the second part of the swimming pool section, and he is that pushed him out too wide, and he's coming into the pits drop fast. So he's going to have to change his tires. Remember this second part of qualifying session as we watch Nosey as he comes over the crest of the hill then before coming into Casino Square as well. ESN is in the Rocket Williams there, so let's see if Nosey can go like a rocket coming down to Mirabel. He's done an 18.810 then, and we got yellow flags floating in. Just coming in the tunnel there is the second Williams of Exile there, who's just cruising there. So of course I'm saying only one DRS zone around here. Of course we could have in the tunnel there, but it makes the aerodynamics go a bit funky, doesn't it? So you don't really want to do that. They didn't say that. That wasn't the word. That was the word I used. They used a much more clever word than I've got. Unfortunately, I haven't got my thesaurus in front of me tonight, so I can't really use big words because I don't know what they mean. As Nosey coming out of the sea front chicane and coming into Tabac. Then look how close they get to the to that wall there. Tabac. We've had some incredible shunts over the years, haven't we? Martin Brundle had a big old shunt there. I think it was in 83, wasn't it, or something like that. He didn't even remember where he was, but they let him race, didn't they? I think it was 83 because in 84 he got sent home because he missed the weigh-in bridge. Of course, when Formula 1 rules was very strict there. Nosey's jumped up into ninth so far. Well done from Alexander. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Sam is on his second lap at the moment, but he is going to I think he'll be coming back in the pits then. Of course, what's the relevance of this? What's the relevance of this Q2? Well, we are trying to lose 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th in this session, and the top 10 must start on the tires which they set their fastest times on. That's why we've all got the yellow stripe medium tires on the track, on the cars, I should say, and then not the soft tires. Of course, the soft tires are the quickest tires, but they're not the most durable in the world, are they? Haven't said that around here. Is it really important to start on the medium tires? Perhaps. It's all about track position. Track position is king around here. That is how you're going to win a race, isn't it? And remember the 92 race between Mansell and Senna. Mansell was head and shoulders the quickest man on that day. But it was Senna that won his fifth Grand Prix race around here, didn't he? In the McLaren. We've got to say, I love that last 3 laps of Monaco, and the cars sounded absolutely monstrous. They really did, didn't they? Gives you shudders, don't it, when you just watch that clip back? And Sam is in the wall there up the Casino Square, and he's going to have a shudder as well. Unfortunately, he's damaged the car. He's going to have to come back in the pits then. So that's unfortunate there for Sam, and he is going to have to go round again then as he comes into the Lulz hairpin then. So that is unfortunate there for Sam then. We got Droffer out on track. We've also got Forza out on track as well. So whilst we got the guys on and out at the moment, let's just take a look then. As Hunter's saying, thought everyone has been affected just in regards to these awful viruses at the moment. It feels like a horror movie, doesn't it? It really does. Brandon's saying, how the hell am I so quick? Well, I would say that you're a pretty good driver, Brandon. There, hats off to you. Fantastic stuff as well. As we've also got Julian saying, need some help commentating in Q2 and Q3, mate. I always need help. So basically, that's basically the tin hat on it, really, isn't it? As into the pits comes Sam. Then Sam's in the pits, so he's going to have to change his nose cone section, isn't he? As unfortunately he is had a problem at the top of the hill. Then Forza there is currently on the lap as well, and so is Droffer as well. Droffer has dropped off the bike then, so we got 5 minutes and 5 3/4 minutes to go in this session. It is going to get very tense in the last 5 minutes. I have no doubt about that, and we're also going to see some traffic jams as well, haven't we? Look at this, and so narrow around here, isn't it? You can see that in the painted white lines there, because this is an actual road, isn't it? As around for the rest of the year. A lovely shot here from Forza's diffuser, and I love that shot. I think it's the only track where we have a I gotta say, I think Forza keeps going in the wall there. I'm not sure if his connection's a bit dodged then, or if perhaps that's just his driving style. Maybe it's the adrenaline, is his car is shaking along with him, isn't it? As he flies through to back. Fantastic rate. Not these 5/10 a second up for this. My goodness me, he needs to slow down. That's an incredible second sector. Wow, impressive stuff indeed. Then almost getting close to the bar as well. Very tense indeed. Then he's coming into the final corner as well. Anthony Notes then doesn't climb on the curb there for this. So I reckon there's at least a half a tenth in there. And look at his teammate. Oh my goodness me. And wow, that is a very perilous pit lane, isn't it? And the two racing points came to blows with each other, and I've missed the Droffer is going to take faster, so well done indeed then. Sure, he's on up at the moment then. Of course, we were used to the Force Indias, shall I say, racing points coming to blows way back in 2017. Ocon and Perez weren't exactly the best of friends, were they? As they kept coming to blows as well. Stringy's done 3 laps on these medium tires. I don't think that this track is very steep in terms of tyre wear, is it? But I think they would like to have had more fresher tires than that, Stringy. But then maybe he just wants to give for these tires a good old scrub, perhaps. 3/10 of a second up, Stringy is in the second sector. Beautiful stuff indeed there from the Toro Rosso driver, and accelerating away then before coming into the Rascas, before coming over to Anthony Noakes then. DRS is wide open, and he comes up to the line now. Let's see what Stringy do. He goes into 7 fastest, and Noble has joined me in the commentary box. How's it going, buddy?
I'm fine in the current conditions, I guess. What about you?
I would say probably the same, actually. Of course, I think you're alluding to the appalling appalling conditions that's going on in the world at the moment. It's as I've mentioned in Q1 and Q2 there. So. Yeah, so just as long as you're staying safe, and that's all that matters, really, isn't it? I suppose at the moment.
I mean, yeah, but it does get kind of boring, you know.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is classes, schoolwork, a bit of gaming, and then every now and then a league race.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird.
Yeah,
miss football already.
Yeah, I told this. I gotta say, I'm not really an outside person because being ginger and all that. I'm a bit of a fair skin kind of guy. So I just look out the window and get burned. But so from that point of view, I think South Isolation might be a bit of a blessing, especially in this UK's having a mini heat wave as Brandon goes fastest in the second sector. Lovely stuff there from Brandon. Good stuff indeed then. But yeah, I do know what you mean there. Of course, I do quite like going to work and stuff. At the moment, I'm working from home, and it's quite tough actually, isn't it? Really staying in. But that's the beauty about esports, isn't it? As we can all come together and have a cracking race on a Friday. So that's all that matters, really, isn't it? But I'd just like to... Sam goes back in the 9th fastest, so good stuff there from the Racing Point driver. Look at that, he's looking very good today. Oh, but he's brushed the wall, and he's damaged the end plate there, so that's not good at all there for Sam. His string is also red as well. Could I just touch on your Q1 time fast, right, Noble, sorry. It's because I said Nosey on track. He's always on my mind, Nosey is. Well, your Q, as Force is retired from the session, he's down in 11th position, so he's out of qualifying with 1 minute to go. Yeah, your Q1 session there. Are you happy with that performance, or do you feel that there's more in the car and you just couldn't get the lap in? Because it's difficult around here, isn't it?
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't expecting much. I know for myself, I hate Monaco. I managed to improve quite a bit, but it wasn't enough. I just tried my best, and in the end it was enough. And I just hope in the race it goes better. And yeah, for me it's just seeing my pace in gold really, and then hoping it goes better on the circuit race, because Monaco is really hard to just see your pace, in my opinion.
Yeah, Monaco is a unique circuit. It's a one-off circuit, isn't it? I think if you ask all the drivers, they would rather be quick around anywhere else but Monaco, because Monaco is just completely, it's not a track that is similar to anywhere. Murphy has only got 50 seconds to get himself sorted, really, so he needs to really put the pedal down now, doesn't he? Murphy is leading the championship at the moment. He's really not helping himself, is he, in the Mercedes drive? XR is 600th of a second off at the moment, so he's also got to get his toe down as well. He comes out to the line, and he is still 13th at the moment, XR is. So XR has got one more run to go. So is Nosey as well, but he's got a Ferrari in front of him. Droffer and Sam are still in the pits at the moment. And Nosey's in the pits, and so Nosey is out of qualifying. And that is the last time we're going to see Nosey in this qualifying session. He is retired from the session as well, then. So that's a shame now for Nosey. We're just going to stay with Murphy at the moment, then. So Murphy, the big name, then, is... on the which is on the cusp at the moment, isn't he? And Stringy's also retired from the session as well, as Murphy comes into the tunnel then, and now he's going to blast out in the sunshine as well. Of course, there's a lot of development going around in Monaco at the moment, isn't there? I used to like the long camera shot as well back in the late 90s and early 2000s, wasn't it? Where there's a long shot where you've seen Damon Hill's Williams, for example, burst out of the tunnel there, didn't you? The earliest memory of Hill and the Williams there is when his car broke down coming out of the tunnel and made the most awfulest sound, that Renault expiring, didn't it, back in the 90s? Oh my goodness me. It was a violent sound, wasn't it? Here goes Murphy, let's see what he can do. And Murphy is only 12th. Murphy, the championship leader, is out of qualifying. My goodness me, he left it too late, in my opinion. Noble, do you agree with that, or do you reckon that Murphy struggled with pace though?
I mean, he was late, but at the end of the session you're most likely gonna have the most grip, so I think he's just been unlucky on his lap, maybe just didn't have the pace, and I think this is more a pace thing than a timing thing, as even if you have bad timing you can still have the pace and be safe, so yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Well, I think that is a big shock indeed there for Murphy to be sitting on the sidelines for Q3, isn't it? But I got to say, Dan is not really the best qualifier in the world, is he? I don't think he minds me saying, and to be honest, he probably does mind me saying. But what can you do? I've said it now. Anyway, but yeah, I think that Murphy, the championship leader, is out of qualifying now, so that's a huge shock there. It really is. So we've got to Darren saying, good evening, Darren. I hope you're well on this a lovely Friday afternoon. It's been beautiful weather, actually, hasn't it? Really good stuff indeed. Let's just before we get Noble's opinions on that qualifying session, let's just take a look at the four guys that have exited qualifying. Unfortunately, XR's out, so is Nosey, so is Murphy, and so is Forza then. And everyone in the top 10 has gone for on the medium tires there, Noble. It's that to me, that sounds like that is the strategy everyone wants to go for, really. But I was saying in Q1 that track position is king around you more than strategy. But it looks like that a lot of the drivers disagree with that.
Well, I think most people are expecting a safety car to come out really and be able to anticipate on that when they're on the mediums instead of being on the softs, for example. If you start on soft, the safety car, you have to go on the compound. If it's reversed, you could go into the softs instead of mediums. So I think the mediums, I've said it before, I'd always prefer going for the mediums if possible, because I think they're just a really solid choice. I mean, they're the balance between hard and soft. So for me, that's always mainly a go-to strategy, and I think on this Grand Prix most people agree.
Yeah, I think that's the best of both worlds, really, isn't it? And I think that's exactly. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Actually, a very good description there indeed. Because yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, going on softs there because I think that it's almost guaranteed we're going to have a safety car, especially with the new update. I think Codemaster's gone from one way to another. Burnt Mylander wasn't really earning his paycheck. Now all of a sudden he's doing more laps than some of these drivers are, as he keeps coming out every now and again, isn't he? He's calling to action. But yeah, we are. I would say we're almost guaranteed a safety car around here, and going on the medium tires at the beginning, and then you could have your. That's really opened a choice of strategy, hasn't it? So yeah, that's a very good point actually. Very nicely done there. As but in terms of qualifying too, then Noble, what did you make of that then? Of course, we've lost 4 drivers, and they're all gone on the medium tires as we mentioned before. Then, but who is your pick for pole position then? With 10 minutes to go, then who do you think's got the edge?
Well, I think Ennio Von has a good shot at getting the pole. He seems to have some in Q1. He was as fast. Q2 is a few hundreds of P2s. On P1, I mean, so I think he has a solid chance at getting the pole position, but of course there will be some other competitors as well, but I think N1 might be the one to watch for this time.
He's quite shocked, I think, of Brandon is about his pace there because I think he just said in the comments there, where's all my pace come from? He's been really impressive, hasn't he? And I've got to say, thank you to all your comments here tonight as well. You definitely keep me on my toes then as well. As Darren just said, best strategy for Monaco is to skip it. So I got to say, I would think all these drivers would agree with you, and I would agree with you as well. As my escapades on Tuesday night racing is really it's really showed how bad I am of a driver. So less said about that the better. It's Jonathan coming into Lowe's hairpin as well. Look at that, he's just tickling the throttle there, isn't he? In coming out of a Lowe's as well. And you see before dropping down into Poitiers as well. As of course Poitiers is the famous corner where Senna just dropped it, didn't he, in 1988. He was so quick, wasn't he? And he was absolutely incredible, wasn't he? But unfortunately they just pushed too hard and just went into Poitiers as well. I gotta say, Jonathan, we were talking about Murphy struggling in qualifying. Well, this man definitely doesn't struggle at all, does he? Jonathan Cox is absolutely fantastic in qualifying. I think I've asked this question before, Noble, but we might have some new viewers here. How different? How different is it to have an incredible one-lap pace to have a race pace? How difficult is it to balance it? And what would you prefer, to have better qualifying or race?
Well, I'd say race pace, because I mean on this track it's always useful to have some qualifying pace in Monaco. When, in generally speaking, I'd prefer to go with race pace, as you don't get any points for qualifying. And if you for example qualify 10th, but you have the race pace and you get a podium in the end, I think that's way better than qualifying on a podium and getting P10.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, because you've just basically hit the nail on the head again there with the as Fisher, as my goodness me, just blown away the competition. He's good around here, isn't he? Fisher is, to say the least. But you've hit the nail on the head there, because points do not get awarded on Saturdays or in this occasion in qualifying. Brandon coming into the line as well. Then he is in third position there, and also underlining your comment earlier there about Brandon being very quick around here. Well, I said Fisher blew away the competition, but Droffa just moved up into second position there. So again, I'm a bit wrong about that. But yeah, track's starting to rev in all the time, and this is looking very good indeed, isn't it? We've got 8 more minutes to go. It's quite a short track around here, isn't it? It's only 69 odd seconds there, but it's all about traffic, isn't it? I think it's the shortest lap in terms of distance, not in terms of time, in terms of distance around here. But of course, because it's so slow, it's got I think the lowest average speed of any track. And of course, if you have a racetrack around the Principality of Monaco, which I think is one of the smallest countries in the world, perhaps. Is it a country? I don't even know. That's showing my poor geography as well. But
city-state.
It's a city-state, is it? There we go. That's why Noble's in the chat, in the coach box, because he's got the brains, and I'm just here talking rubbish. As coming through Casino Square is Grant. Then Grant hasn't had much pace either. Same with his teammate Dan Murphy here tonight, isn't it? But I'm wondering if he could really throw something out of the bag there in the final part of qualifying. There, really good stuff indeed. Noble, your race then coming up in just a few minutes. Then you were saying about just having a good race then. But what's your realistic targets? Do you reckon points is on offer? Because you have mentioned the safety car is guaranteed here. Do you reckon you can get points and just survive the melee?
Well, my main strategy is to survive turn 1, don't die in the race, and. For myself, knowing myself and not expecting much from Monaco, I'm gonna be happy if I'm not last, really. You know, I'm more of a circuit guy. I mean, the street circuits are cool, but I don't really like driving. Except for Baku. Baku's alright. But, yeah. I don't expect too much from myself here. I hope I can show some better pace in the upcoming weeks. I mean, I did alright Wednesday, qualified 5th or 6th, something, 4th maybe. I don't know. I think 4th. I don't know.
It was that good you can't remember.
But it was above average qualifying. Let's just say it like that.
I gotta say.
No, you go.
I was going to say, yeah, just alluding to your point there a minute ago, is street races is a nice change of flavour, isn't it? But I think I do prefer like traditional race circuit, so to speak, isn't it? I mean, I got to say, I'd love the from a commentator's point of view, I love watching them race around Monaco. It's the skill, isn't it? But I think for you racers, as I found out on Tuesday, it's so annoying, isn't it? And so frustrating as well. And your concentration, it has to be the utmost for 39 odd laps around here. I bet that's difficult as well, isn't it?
It's definitely going to be more difficult when you've worn tires, as you might start sliding around, and if you just start sliding here, you're most likely going to end up in a barrier. So you really have to be on the top of your game here to set a fast lap, not lose it, and keep it going throughout the whole race. I think that's something, yeah, only the best can do, really.
And I am certainly not the best. I lasted about 7-8 laps on Tuesday, and I think that I was so proud of that. I even awarded myself with a yogurt. So that was.
Well, let's just say you're better at racing. You do commentating. In football, I'm better in the field, so I'm a goalie. You know, that's how it goes.
Yep, we've all got our own positions in life. My position is sat up here and not sat down there, and which sometimes I think that I think I'll give this race like another go. Jonathan giving it all kinds of welly there, coming out of the swimming pool section. My goodness me, and Jonathan there. I gotta say that was absolutely great car control from the British-Italian driver. I love that. But is that going to love the times? Well, he's back at the 4th at the moment with 4 minutes to go there for Jonathan. Wow. Oh, he's in the wall there, so he can go for another go. He's 2 committed there. Grant, he's in the pits there. Sam is 2/10 of a second off the pace there. Let me quickly catch up on the comments there. Is that me and Noble have been nattering away, and we've completely forgot that we're on stream, I think. Well, I certainly have. Fisher just said there that no, Darren said that quality is important around here. It is the most important qualifying session of the season, in my opinion. Fisher said, well, that finally worked. Then Darren saying great lap. Fisher, cheers man. A bit of bromance in the there in the car bits there. Fisher lost a few tenths there. That's a bit of a scare for, isn't he? He's on pole position and he's got a few more tenths in the bag there. My goodness me. Droffer saying no idea where I pulled that lap from, and the trap there is booze died there. Is that right? Or bamboo? I don't know. Sorry, Darren. I'm not down with the cool kids at the moment. So I think the coolest word I know is rad. So anyway, Sam coming up the hill now as he's coming into the casino section there, and he is in 9th position mode. Is Sam there, as I said, a very good street racer. He's fantastic, isn't he? Sam is around this circuit. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then 3 minutes to go. Then Fisher, he thinks he's got a couple of tenths there left in that Ferrari. My goodness me. Jonathan's back in the pits, and Jonathan might be able to get a third lap out there. Do you think there was a mistake for the old drivers not to go for 3 laps, or do you think they're being very calm and cool in there?
Well, if you can go for 3 laps, I would do it, as of course another lap means another opportunity, and you know, the more opportunities to have, the more chance you have of getting a good lap in. So if you can do 3 laps, I'd usually go for it, but that also depends on your tires, on your tire choices, and how many tires you use in previous sessions. But if you do it correctly, then you should be able to do 3 sessions in Q3.
That's a very good point actually. Of course, in Q3 you get a new set of boots and a new set of soft compound tires. But of course, the other tires you have to use through the other tires, then you have to carry over from Q1 and Q2 there, as just on board with Andre here as he's coming out of the C-front chicane then. So you only get one new set of boots. You don't get any more than that. I think Sam's going for another lap there. Sam is really building up then, isn't he? As he keeps improving times. He's only a couple of hundreds behind Hunter there, and Hunter, as I said, it's absolutely fantastic around here. So very good stuff indeed then. Is Granty has made his thoughts abundantly clear on this track in the chat there, but I'm not going to repeat what he said there because this is a family-friendly show. But let's just say he just said this track is poop. Oh my goodness me, Sam and Grant, they're getting very close together there. I think a bit too close for comfort there for Granty as he accelerates out of the C-front chicane. As Fisher's just asked Grant if he's using no TC. Granty's in the wall. He's in the wall there, and that is an appalling mistake there for Granty on his outlap. And oh my goodness me, that Granty is usually there or thereabouts, isn't he? But unfortunately today he seems to be off colour a bit there, doesn't he? In the Mercedes, and that's not good. That's not good at all. There, yellow flag in two. Then it's one of the Ferraris that are slowing down, coming to the C-front chicane. Now Granty is retired from the session there, so he will start 10th then. We're on board with Andre then as he comes through the tunnel and bursting into the sunshine as well, then breaking down into the C-front chicane there as well, and before accelerating well with 50 seconds to go in this session. Then the countdown is on. Then here comes Carl 62 then flying through to back then before coming through the wow, look at this, the left here, the right again, then the left. Incredible stuff for Ang then. Oh, he touches the wall then before coming into Raskas. Look at that. Then these Formula 1 cars have got appalling steering lock on it. They're pathetic around slow corners. I think it's better to have a London taxi, isn't it? Coming to the line in over the grid hatches. Ang is in fourth position there. Sorry, Andre's in fourth position. As once again there, I completely ruined his name then. I apologise profusely. Here comes Brandon then coming through. Anthony Noakes then. And there's yellow flags in one then. Don't worry about that. We're focused on Brandon. And his pole position. An incredible time there. Look at that. 500 of a second in front of Fisher. My goodness me, that was a good time there from Brandon. That was all the marbles, wasn't it? He just put it all on the line. Jonathan there, oh, clipping the wall then in the swimming pool section as well. Look at this, and I think he might have damaged the Toro Rosso. He has. DRS available then. He's coming up to the line. Is Jonathan in the fight? He is in the fight. That's pole position there for Jonathan, and that's with damage as well. My goodness me. Sam is in ninth position then, and he will start. I think it's a very good ninth position. Fisher's on the pole in second run there, hasn't he? He is down. Here comes Ollie coming through Anthony Noakes and car 30. He's coming up to the line, and Ollie goes 6 fast round. Fisher comes up to the line. Is this going to be any improvement? No, it's for in the end for Fisher now. He didn't get the perfect lap in, I don't think. We've got a Toro Rosso there in the pits, and we've got Hunter coming through the follow turn as well. Hunter only down in 8th position at the moment. He comes up to the line, and Hunter goes into 8th fastest there, so Hunter not improving his time. Angus coming back through again. DRS is right on the money then. Here comes Andreas. He is in 5th position in the end. One into qualifying there. Noble, sum that up if you can before we go into the race itself.
Well, and you've won Jonathan setting some really good laps there at the end, and Fish just unable to improve, so it's gonna be V3 for him with, and you've won second, and there's such tiny gaps for the front three there. It could go anywhere in the race really, even though Jonathan might have the prime position if he managed to stay in front after the first lap. But I'm curious to see how that will go. I'm curious to see if I would crash, and well, I'll speak to you soon because I gotta go now.
Yeah, good luck in the race, and good luck in the race, Noble. I hope you get some points. I'll not show you any favoritism. I probably will because I'm pretty bad at that. Yeah, so see you in a bit then. As yeah,
if I crash, I'll be back. Don't worry.
So
I think you'll see me soon enough.
So I think we might, Noble might be back in the commentary box. We might grace our presence again then. But good luck to Noble, and I hope he gets some points on the board then. And look at that, as Noble just alluded to there. 66 hundredths of a second separates the front three. My goodness me, that is an incredible time then. As Darren has just said, so close. We got to Granty saying yes, Fisher. And we have also got Fisher going brave man D saying so. Granty is using no traction control, which he's down in that 10th position then. As we go into the race itself, we got 39 laps around here. This is going to be a very tense affair indeed then. And I'd like to hear what your comments, your thoughts, your expertise, and what else is going to occur in this race then coming up then, which is very soon then. So that qualifying session's done then. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did, and my goodness me, it's such special whisker between the front three. Absolutely fantastic stuff. The way they start on the grid, there's actually more space between them than there is if you line them up together in terms of the times that they didn't qualify. And that is absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then, as we're just getting the circle spin around them. We've lost 2 cars already. We've lost Grillsy and we've lost Indigo, unfortunately, as qualifying didn't seem to go their way at all there, but we are now getting ready for the race itself, and we've got a lot of wings there out in the garages ready to get going there, isn't it? And I think they might lead a lot of those nose cone sections as well. Of course, remember this this pit lane was redeveloped back in 2004, wasn't it? It was a very narrow pit lane, wasn't it? You didn't have anywhere to swing a cat, did you? Let alone an F1 car, but the new complex built in 2004, much more better now, isn't it? For the drivers and the teams alike then. Good stuff indeed then. Darren reckons there's going to be a crash fest in turn 1 there. Well, from my point of view, I love it, but of course we also want the drivers to get through as well, don't we? As we are now getting ready, 39 laps around here, and let's go for the grid chart from front to back then. Tyre choice so far, well, there's a lot of medium tyres out there. We got a hard tyre runner from Forza and soft tyres for Dan Murphy and also for LH44 then. So that is the strategy in a nutshell. I think that all the strategy might go out the window, though. Who knows what's going to happen? So we've got 39 odd laps around here. This is a long old race, this is. So we're just now, let's go through Jonathan there. Pinching pole position there. I didn't think he was in the ball game. My goodness me, how wrong was he? Second position was, so how wrong was I? Second position is Brandon. Third position is Fisher. Droffer in 4th position. Lovely stuff there from the McLaren driver. Here comes Andreas in 5th position there. I'm saying his name right, I think. Ollie in 6th position. We've got Striggy 7th with Hunter 8th. We've got Samuel in 9th position. Granty Boy is in 10th position. We got Forza in 11th. We got Daniel Murphy in 12th position. Here comes Alex Nosey in 13th position there. 14th position is Exal. 15th is LH44. Noble in 16th position and Appy in 17th position then. Those are 17 cars on the track ready to get going here in Monaco. We're on board with the man who's on pole position, racing for his nation here tonight. Jonathan is. He's got the he wants to dedicate this race, tribute to this race, to his family back home then, and I gotta say it's absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it, for Jonathan to be racing here tonight then, as he's coming up to the line then, and we'll be getting ready to go in just a few moments there, as Grant is just confirming then that he is a brave man, and I think Grant is a brave man. I think all these guys are brave men to be driving around here, isn't it? Of course, I drove, as I said before, I drove around here on Tuesday. That wasn't bravery, that was stupidity, as I don't belong around here. So we're now going out to the grid then. Here comes Appy then. He is 17th on the grid then, but let's see where he's going to finish at. Of course, the only Red Bull representative here. Red Bull needs to get some points in the constructors, don't they? Remember, Silver is racing now, and keep an eye on that stream then. I think it might be shared straight after the race. And we got a yellow, we got the lights coming on. We got 5. There's a pause, and we are. Go! And I've got a bit of wheel speed there, but Jonathan moves across there, cuts up before he goes into turn 1 then, and they're all through on it. Let's just take a look then. They are all through safely. Great driving then. Brilliant. So Jonathan has got the perfect start, and he is pulled away already from Brandon in 2nd with Fisher in 3rd position. Then we've got Droffer in 4th and Andreas in 5th position. 6th position is the Ferrari, followed by Hunter, who's at 1 position as well. String's had the pole in start. String is oh gosh, there's contact. A Mercedes has gone the inside. There's all kinds of shenanigans in there, but my goodness me. Oh, that's a Mercedes around. That's a Mercedes around. Stringy's around, and oh goodness me. Forza's got penalty for a severe penalty. Mercedes Murphy there is trying to do a 5-point turn there, and that is not good at all there for Dan. The championship leader is in the wars already then, and oh my goodness me, we've got a virtual safety car here, and as great stuff indeed then, as Darren said, great control in turn 1. Unfortunately there, we all went pear-shaped in there. We got a lot of cars that is limping along now, as a virtual safety car. They all have to adhere there to a delta, don't they? And that is unfortunate as well. The 4 positions down Murphy, that's a shame there as well. We're on board the race here at the moment. Is Jonathan there? Brandon 2nd, 3rd position is the Friday. I'm looking to see if we had any damage there, because I've seen debris there, didn't we? From someone. Let's just take a look to see who it was then. And Jonathan's got a drive-through penalty. Jonathan has got a drive-through penalty for speeding on the virtual safety car. What a shame there for Jonathan. We got a lot of pit action. Stringy, Forza, Granty, Noble in the pits as well. We've also got both Mercedes in the pits, so Murphy stays getting from bad to worse. Yellow flag in one. What's occurring in one? Just taking a look then, as I think it might be Nosey who's been the walls there, and been the wall as well as the wars there. So Alex there is having a bit of mischief going on at the moment. Look at this queue we've got behind Brandon. Oh my goodness me. Jonathan is going to be on a drive through Palace. That's not good at all there for the British time drive. He has to take it within 3 laps then. That was a harsh penalty to say the least, isn't it? My goodness me then. To come through the tunnel then. Look at them all. There we got Brandon, Fisher, Droffer, Andreas, Ollie and Hunter then. And there's a 2-second gap then between Hunter and Sam as well then. Coming out of the Seafront chicane. We're just watching the Renault driver as well then. As they come up to the back then. Look at them all. It's like it's a queue on Monday morning, isn't it? As on the Monday morning to drive to work. Jonathan's got a 2.2 second advantage there. I'm wondering how is he going to minimise the damage there? He's in the pits there, so Jonathan is in the pits there. Brandon takes the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix to come through Anthony Nodes then, and to complete lap 2. My goodness me there, wow, incredible stuff. Unfortunately, so Brandon leads that second position is Fisher. Where is Jonathan going to come out? Jonathan is still driving through, and LH is through. What about Sam's in the pit? Sam's in the pits there for the racing point as he is changing the nose cone now. Jonathan's out in 8th position, and there's already a field spread. There's a field spread around here. Can be quite extreme there. But yeah, I'm surprised at how much fuel spread there is already there, isn't there? As I couldn't get my words out. I need to put my teeth back in. So yeah, a lot of field spread already in this race, and not 3 out of 39, and Brandon leads them, but there's a queue behind him. Look at them all. Fisher there is getting hungry, isn't he? We're on board with the Ferrari driver, isn't it? Darren said Jonathan's luck continue there. It really does there, doesn't it? I feel that Fisher storming down the inside then. What a move there from Fisher. He takes the lead on the Monaco Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff from the Ferrari driver. He leads. That is an incredible move there. And into the wall goes Ollie there. He has damaged the end plate then, and now we got Andrea already all over the back of him. Andreas already all over the back, and he's got damage to the Renault as well then, as he comes into Rascats as well, and break this to glow, as the Ferrari coming in the pits. He is in the pits, and the Ferrari driver. One Ferrari leads, one Ferrari's in the wall then, and Hunter also moving at the 5th position as well then. Murphy 5 seconds off the back at the moment. I think Murphy might need a safety car or something in the championship leader there. Really showing the moment. LH has moved up position. Jonathan is now in 7th position as well then, in the Toro Rosso then. So Ferrari's in and out, shaking all about then. The Nosey is now up in 8th position as well then, in the Williams then. I think it's Ollie going to get out in front of Happy here. Oh, this is going to get very tense indeed, isn't it? It's a very difficult pit exit here, isn't it? There's the Ferrari. No, we've already got by the Ferrari. And look, the Ferrari will just come into the screen now. No, he won't. Oh, my goodness me. That's a big old time gap, isn't it? So just taking a look back down the field then as well. So a drop at the moment. Sam's got a 3-second penalty at the moment. Coming out of Portier as well then, and in the tunnel then, so Brandon there has lost 2.3 seconds already. Fisher needs to make that move, didn't he, as quickly as possible, because he would have been stuck behind here. Noble's got a 3-second penalty, and look at this time, we're on board Droffer at the moment, and Droffer looking very good around Monaco, isn't he, at the moment? We've got some pace on that McLaren. He needs to get by Brandon as quickly as possible. No disrespect to Brandon there, he's a phenomenal driver, and his qualifying pace actually showed it, didn't he? Qualified second, but at the moment Fisher there is really stretching his leg to. I think the Fisher should have been on pole really, because he did have I think he had a lot of pace in that Ferrari there, but unfortunately it didn't materialise. But today he is absolutely fantastic, isn't he? Brandon is second, he's almost 3 seconds back. Jonathan is caught up to the back of LH already. LH is on the soft tires, the only man to go on the soft tires at this current stage of the race as well. We're only on lap 5 as coming up the hill then, as you can see we've got a queue of cars behind Brandon at the moment. We've also got Jonathan there, who is now really starting to push the envelope, isn't he, so to speak, on LH as well, as they come over the hill and over into Casino Square as well, before dropping down then into Mirabeau. Jonathan is head, he's all over the back, he cannot lose his head. Jonathan can here. Remember, he needs to keep that wing intact there. He needs to do a firm but fair manoeuvre there, and I'm wondering if his best opportunity is coming out of the tunnel shortly, and down into the Seafront chicane. Fisher's incredible move actually on the Brandon there. That was definitely assured, to say the least. Assured, I mean, to say the least. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. 3-second penalty for Droffer there, and I'm wondering, he got that out of the Seafront chicane as well then, didn't he? As Jonathan there is too far back at the moment. LH45 on a beautiful launch there out of Portier. Beautiful stuff indeed then from the Haas driver as they come out to the back as well. Look in the background there, there's Alex Nosey there, just a flash and a bit of flash of white there from Alexander in the Williams there, as he is 3 seconds off this battle at the moment then, on board then with Jonathan as well. And Jonathan is a very quick driver, isn't he? Unfortunately there is That's not the rub of the green, as he as of late there, Jonathan. As you get DRS now, though. Remember, on the third lap, there, that pit board almost getting knocked out. The mechanics on there. They're so close out. And look at Brandon there, defending there on the inside there. Jonathan was trying to go on the inside. He had the run there, but Brandon slammed the door shut there, didn't he? He was not going to let Jonathan through there, but Jonathan is now all over the gearbox of that Haas then. And LH44, this is going to be extreme pressure. He's got a 3-second penalty as they come down to Mirabel once again then for the 6th time then. As LH then is still on the soft tires at the moment. Nosey is now a second back as well. Striggy is in the pits then for this second Toro Rosso then, so he is in the pits then for the 2nd time in this race after only 6 laps then. So Striggy now kind of get into a groove and perhaps a comeback fight. Of course, anything can happen in this race, can it? So there's no point. I would say that you cannot give up this early on. Brandon's defending, and look at this, Brandon, that's beautiful defending. Jonathan's going to go on the outside there, but Brandon forced him out wide. They're coming to blows here, and Brandon there slamming the door shut there. I know, showing Jonathan a bit of his rear wheel as well there, as of course said. He's getting a bit feisty this one is at the moment. Nosey is now under a second back of the boat. Fisher set the fast lap of the race then, and good stuff indeed there. Andreas is now all over the back of Droffa as well in the battle for third position there. Is Brandon is now starting to find his feet, hasn't he? And he's getting pulled a second way there from Andreas. Good stuff indeed. Yellow flag in free. Virtual safety car as well. As Appy has damaged the nose cone. Oh, he's damaged the front suspension. That's it for Rank. He is out. Sorry, that's the Red Bull out of the race then. And and Granty almost going into the back of Appy there. He would not have been happy at all, would he? Yeah, not good at all there from Appy there. He's out of the race then. And look, the Ferrari mechanics are in FSF for session, and the Ferrari of Ollie is in the pits. He's in and out, and he's back away. And that Ferrari, remember, the Ferrari driver was started near enough in the top half of the field there. So unfortunately, he's dropped down to 11th now, and even forces through as well into the pits. Comes Noble as well. They're taking their time, aren't they? No, they're using this time now to come in the pits and put a new set of boots on, aren't they? Murphy is staying out there, but Ollie's coming on the pits now. Then it's half the time. If anyone remembers the F2 race here, as DRS is back now, we're back racing here in Monaco, and oh my goodness me, look how close Droffa and Andreas is as they come into Rascas as well. My goodness me, there's a whisker, isn't there? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Is that damage onto Red Bull? Then the Renault, there's already damage as well, isn't there? Coming through then to complete lap 7, I think we're on lap 8 already. My goodness me, there is Andreas as the meet in the McLaren sandwich as it comes into Saint Devote then before climbing up the hill then. Look at that, that's what 4 tenths of a second looks like in the Formula 1 world. It is less than a whisker, isn't it? Look at it, it's just over a car length, isn't it, as it come over the grass hill into a Casino Square then. Droffa might have been a court snap in there, mightn't he? We've also got Grimes there. It's come onto the back of, oh my goodness me, we've got to stay with this battle here between Jonathan and LH44. Those soft tires are really starting to struggle now as well. As Granty is, Sam is in the pits there, but he's got a penalty for speeding in the pits. That's a 5-second penalty for Sam there for coming in the pits there. He's only done 4 laps on those hard tires, so there must be damage there on that racing point now. So so Sam back in the pits there, unfortunately as well, and he's dropping down to 30th position there. Jonathan there is really giving it's a bit of a hurry up there, isn't it? Look at this. Jonathan's trying to go on the inside, now the outside. He's now gone on the outside as well. LH44 is defending the inside line, but Jonathan might go on the outside. Where is he? He is through. That's a good move there for Jonathan, and that move was coming. Good stuff indeed there for Jonathan. He passes LH44, and he is up into 6th position. Good stuff indeed there for Jonathan. He is 10 seconds away though from Hunter in this battle here. Well, I think with Jonathan's pace at the moment there, I reckon he might claw back up to the back of this battle fairly soon then. So keep an eye out for Jonathan's pace, and it is quite electric at the moment. Nosey is also coming to the back of LH. LH might be thinking about cutting the pits, and he's on the soft compound tires, and one of those soft tires are starting to really struggle at this stage of this race, and we've got 30 laps to go there. I wonder if LH should come in the pits to throw on a set of hard tires. He's got a 20-second gap between himself and Granty, hasn't he? So maybe it's a good time to cut in the pits, and it's about a 20-second deficit, isn't it? Something like that. Coming in the pits, and look at this, and Brandon, Droffa, Andreas, and we got a ghost. We got a ghost, and I think that's a Williams actually of XR. It is a ghost of XR then, as he has unfortunately had a bit of a miserable start to this race, hasn't he? Being lapped already after 9 laps then, and that's unfortunate there for XR as well. As Andreas there has just dropped back there, hasn't he? As Williams are getting on the way there. Of course, even though they are a ghost there, it does really hinder the car that you're trying to lap. The car that is trying to overtake you, isn't it? Because it just distracts you, doesn't it, slightly? We're just watching Knowles then, who's pushing LH through the seafront chicane then. No, he says, I gotta say, as we're on board with Nosey then, he's the kind of driver, I think he's very similar to Kimi Räikkönen, isn't he? He's won his, of course, there's another championship I used to commentate on with Nosey in it, and of course he won his championship there, didn't he, in a fine start as well, H44, not coming in the pitch yet. I think since he's won that, he's kind of put his feet up, hasn't he, really? So very much a Kimi Räikkönen-esque kind of driver, isn't he? He's won his title, he's got his fame for Forza, he's had his fame, oh my goodness me, it's H44 forcing Nosey out wide there, and but they're still battling away. Look at how much LH is struggling on the soft compound tires, and Nosey's all over the back of him, isn't he? Oh, I gotta say, I can't tell which is the Williams and which is the Haas at the moment, apart from the different colours. Incredible stuff, Ben, as they come down into Mirabel as well, and is Nosey going to have a little cheeky look? Not quite then. 8 seconds then is the gap between Jonathan and Hunter then, so he is the battle's coming down, and Grant is now 18 seconds away from this battle as well. Is Ollie is all over the back of Forza as well, and Forza then is kind of the hill as well then, and look at Ollie, he is all over the back. Is he going to have a look down into a Casino Square? Not quite, and Sam has got the fast up the race and underlining his one lap pace as well, doing a good job. Sam is in the racing point as well. His teammate is under the cosh, isn't he? Really getting some pressure on now, isn't he, from the Ferrari. I wonder if Ollie's going to have a look and wait for it into the C French chicane. There's a Mercedes and Murphy in the back as well. Remember, he's the championship leader. He's the championship challenger is Jonathan, who's only on 8 points so far at the moment. I say only, that's still 8 points more than Dan at the moment. Dan has got a 50-point lead then, so the gap will come down to 42 then, if my maths is correct. If my maths, that's impressive actually. I'm really happy with that. That's the proper mental arithmetic. As Ollie there is Weave in there, yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2 then? I'm not sure what's going on in 2 then, but something that has occurred then, and Nosey is still all over the back at the moment. Look at this, and this is an incredible battle there between LH44 and Nosey, as Nosey there is having a look, but LH slams the door shut then. Ollie is weaving there, and Forza is letting him by then, so I'm wondering if it's a bad connection there from Forza, which is why he's weaving, perhaps. I'm not sure that it's to come up the hill then, but maybe I'm just seeing things there, and that is the way that Forza drives then. He's just very adventurous on the steering wheel. Sam's back in the pits again, and he does have incredible well-known speed, Sam does around here, but he's really struggling to get a time together at the moment. Lovely shot here, yellow flag in 2, as something has gone really awry there, and that is, I think that's Forza. Is it Forza? Possibly. I think it might be Forza. Yeah, as his teammate coming on the pits as well then, as I'm trying to keep up with the action here, as Nosey is dropped off the back of LH at the moment, so I think he might be just having a breather before oh, he's in the pits, Alex is. So Alexander in the pits then. And let's see, is he damaged the nose cone of that car, or is this a strategy call there for Nosey? Is he losing too much time behind H44, and he is going to shake things up, is he, in the Williams there? Oh, there is a new nose cone ready for the Williams driver, and he is going to go on to the hard compound tire, Nosey is. And he should be, is he going to get out in front of Ollie? That is the question there. This is going to be very interesting indeed then. As Darren says, Forza used the D-pad to steer. I got to say, the last time I used the D-pad to steer was back on the PlayStation 2 days, and my goodness me, I can't believe we actually used to race like that. We also used to use the X button to go, didn't we? Sorry, to accelerate. To go. What kind of vocabulary is that? My goodness me, there. I really need to. Since I got my thesaurus, I've started to really show my mental age there, and I really. But yeah, they used to use the X button to go, didn't we? Way back when. Then look at that. That's a cracking battle, isn't it, between Hunter and Andreas? It's the battle for 4th and 5th position. A second down the road is the second McLaren. 7 seconds back is Jonathan. He is clawing his way back up here as well. We got Noble and Stree there are really dicing with each other, aren't they, in the battle for 13th and 14th position. Good stuff indeed there for Noble to still be in this race. He was a bit pessimistic there on his chances there, but my goodness me, he's doing a cracking job in 40th position at the moment, isn't he? Into the pits comes H44 then, so he is trying to cover off the undercut, which Nosey has triggered off here. So the Haas car mechanics are on the pits, and he has got the nose cone change, so that'll be 5 seconds less then. He is in and out as well. Here comes Grant there coming down. Haas is about the middle part of the pit lane there, isn't they? As they've had a very successful start to their Formula 1 career, apart from last year, obviously, where tires just seem to eat them up there. Ferrari is through, then Ollie is on the 8th position there. 9th position is LH44, and LH is LH come out in 9th position, and he's on the medium tires then, and 6 laps younger tires as well. That may pay dividends then. On board with Hunter again. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. Oh no, I tell a lie. It is Dan and Nosey there going to go head to head then. And there's a lot of history between these two, isn't there? If anyone's been following these men's career, as I think that, of course, Nosey and Murphy, of course, I would say that the student is outmastered the master, hasn't he? As a yellow flag in free, we got a yellow flag in free. Something is occurring, and it's Sam who's in the pits. And Sam has had a problem there. He's coming in the pits, and that's a shame now for the racing foot dryer. And he is retired from the race. What a shame for Sam, because I think in qualifying he showed some amazing pace there, didn't he? We're on board the championship leader. Then Knowles has got a 3-second penalty. Naughty for cutting the chicane there, as Knowles is trying to get every advantage he can there, and that is absolutely disappointing there from Alex there. I thought he was a there was me thinking he was an honest man there. Of course, all joking aside, then it's very easy to get a penalty around here, isn't it? I know the bars are so close together. You're probably wondering, where'd you get penalties around here? But of course, the Sea French came up with one of them. We got yellow flags there as one of the racing points there was just coming out. It was I've lost myself. Sorry, I feel like Eminem there. I lose yourself. It's the racing point there coming out of Sam out of the race then. Unfortunately, so Sam's out. At least he's ghosting there. So Sam and Appy, the two retirements in this race so far. Unfortunately, there didn't go too well then. As Striggy is gone. Striggy is gone then. What has occurred then? We've got yellow flags in 1 and 2 then. And we're on board then with Striggy. And Striggy I think he's in the pits, isn't he? Yes, he is in the pits. So Striggy, I think, is retired from the session there, and I think, well, he's obviously retired from the session now. But I'm wondering, as we've got a yellow flag in 2 now as well, as it's all happening here at the moment. As I'm struggling to find out what's going on then. Just saying, let's see what's occurring. It is it Noble? I think Noble's ghosted as well. So Noble's gone into ghost mode here, and it's getting very tense out there at the moment, isn't it? My goodness me, then. And we've got some yellow flags fluttering around then as a racing point. It's Sam's car. Sorry, Sam's car is out of the race. Then hopefully you will have had enough of this nonsense when we get back racing now. I was struggling there to find out what was going on. My goodness me! I know it's a short old lap around here, but I was really struggling the 2.8 mile circuit. Murphy is dropping off the back of Knowlesy at the moment. As Knowlesy is now starting to stretch his legs on those hard tires. Murphy's been on these medium tires now for 13 odd laps there in the Mercedes there, so they are probably starting to really struggle now as well. And I did say this track is not too harsh on the tires there, but Murphy is really starting to struggle at the moment. There's the Williams, that's unfortunate as well. On board then with Andreas, and he is just it looks like he's dropped Hunter slightly. I'd say slightly. Look, that's a second at the moment. Then of course the field spread around here is quite is actually quite high, isn't it? Because of course you can't get on the throttle till the car in front, which sounds quite obvious, doesn't it? Really, but that is what. And oh my goodness me, Brandon is all of a sudden coming to the clutches now with Drofford, and the gap at the front is 13 seconds there. Fisher is basically dancing away in this race at the moment, isn't he? And he's also going to be dancing in the casinos as well by the end. It's incredible driving there from Fisher. But look in the background, we have got Brandon, Droffer, Andreas and Hunter all in the same shot there as LH is through and past the Ferrari and on his way there. I think that Ollie's had damaged his front nose cone somewhere. Jonathan is 6 seconds away from this battle here, and I think Jonathan might start to get very eager indeed then as these guys I reckon they're going to start to really battle their way, and they look at this coming through the swimming pool section there as well. Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty. How difficult is it to go Lionel Stir there through the through the swimming pool into they're all in the pits then. Oh my goodness me! But Andreas has stayed out, and so is Hunter as well. Hunter had to stay out, I think, because he would have lost time next. He would have had the queue because both McLarens are in it. That's the downside of having both McLarens in as well. We got a Ferrari off. We haven't got a Ferrari off. We got a Alfa Romeo who's off the track there, just getting on the way at the moment, and that is Noble as well. And Hunter is carrying on then. So how powerful is it? Droffer's out in front of Brandon. Brandon's dropped down now. What if he had a nose cone change there? And Brandon is dropped down to 6th position. Droffer is in a net 2nd position. Good stuff indeed. As a Hunter is now all on the back. He knows that this is the time to strike, isn't it, around Monaco? It is all about strategy, isn't it? And this is the perfect time, isn't it? Hunter needs to get by Andreas Andreas as quickly as possible. I think Andreas has got nose cone damage. Noble is retired from the session then, so we'd expect to see Noble back in the not too distant future in the old commentary box as well then, as they come into the sea French chicane as well. Then we got a second deficit between Hunter and Andreas as they come into the back corner as well. And Ollie is now a second back at the moment in the Ferrari off LH44, as LH44 has got a new set of boots there, hasn't he? And he is on his way as well. So is Andreas going to come in at the end of the lap then? Hunter is still out at the moment then. Andreas in the pits. Is Hunter in the pits as well? They have to cover from the undercut as well then. Renault mechanics around the pit lane. I think Fisher can Fisher doesn't really need to react at all, does he? He can go on the optimum strategy. He's so far in front of these guys as well. McLaren mechanics and I think that the Renault team hasn't changed the nose code as well. Jonathan's in the pits as well. So the Renault team haven't changed the nose code at all. Then Snowball's back in the party. We'll talk about his race in just a few moments of time. But Droffer's back up into second position. Or is he? It's between Andreas. Andreas is out in front there. It's a go up the hill. Then they're side by side. And it's the battle for second position. Oh, draft flex for him. He is in second position. Fantastic race in there. Droffer through second. Andreas dropped down the third. Then Hunter fourth. Brandon in fifth position. Jonathan in sixth position. Granty down in seventh position there. Then we got Ollie and LH44 8th and 9th position. Nosey in 10th position. Murphy 11th. 12th Forza and Exile in 13th position there. As I said, Noble is back in the old commentary box as well. Then as Fisher comes into the pit, said, unfortunate for that, Noble. We didn't see much of your race, unfortunately. What happened out there?
Well, you know, got some wing damage, and then you know, I went in and then got stuck behind swing beam, and then he went into the pits and I was right behind him, got some more wing damage. Had to do another lap, then went in pit crew, didn't change my wing, so I had to go back in again. And yeah, I was dead last by 40 seconds, so it wasn't really worth racing anymore.
Sounds a bit of a nightmare
use in here.
sounds like a bit of a nightmare.
Wasn't the greatest race. I hope next week goes better.
Of course, and where are we next week? What country are we gracing as Sammy has left the session?
I'll check for you.
So whilst Noble checks for us as well, just on board volley at the moment, as the field spread again, and it's just becoming abundantly clear at the moment in time at the moment. It's Ollie in the Ferrari there. It's the closest battle on track between Ollie and LH44. We've got 20 more laps to go in this race then, and I gotta say, so far no safety cars there, which has been absolutely outstanding driving, absolutely incredible driving there. Remember on the Tuesday night race here, we had a lot of safety cars, didn't we? I think we had 3 or 4, but here tonight we've only had 2 virtual safety cars, so driving of the ups have been absolutely outstanding. Peak performance there from these guys. Retirements, Appy's out of the race, Sam out of the race, Stringy out of the race, and Noble out of the race. Those are the 4 retirements so far, but none of them been, apart from Appy, I don't think the other, that's been the only terminal crash there. It was a big smash as well, wasn't it, coming out of the swimming pool? And Andreas now is starting to really put the squeeze on Droffer as well in the battle for second. Fisher came in the pits there, didn't he, on the lap before. He's basically got fresh hard tires. He's got 15-second advantage, wasn't it? There's debris and coming out to bike there as well, so that's going to be might become very perilous as well later on this race, as we're coming into Raskas as well. Nosy in no man's land at the moment as well. Andreas said,
just check the fast lap for you. It's going to be Belgium next race.
Oh, Belgium is it? And I gotta say, I love Belgium. It's the best racetrack in the world to me. And Jonathan is back in the pit, and Jonathan there is having a nightmare race. Of course, Murphy's having an appalling race as well. But Dan is in front of his championship rival, and he is in 10th position there. But Dan has done 18 laps on the medium tires. I wonder if he's trying to go to the softs here, Noble. Do you reckon that what he's trying to do there? Because 18 laps on the medium tires is quite a number of laps there, but he does have 19 more laps to go then. Do you think he's going to try and go on the soft tires, or what's he trying to do here? He's been no man's land now, isn't he, do you think, in terms of strategy?
Sorry, just missed about who we're talking.
Oh, Dan Murphy, he's 18 lap for the medium tires there, which I think he's really struggling at this stage. Do you think he's just trying to get to a decent number of laps and put on the hard tires and just have a couple of laps younger hard tires, or do you think he's trying to go to soft tires?
Well, my original strategy was medium soft, so I think he might do a medium soft for exit of the race. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. Johnson's already right behind him now.
Yeah, Jonathan is on the fresh set medium tires, isn't he? And he's gained literally 2 seconds in the second half of the lap there, isn't it? Showing that Murphy's boots there are far from the best, and yellow flagged in 2 as I just have a quick old look then. Oh my goodness me! And that's a problem with the McLaren. That's Droffel is under all kinds of problems there, and he has dropped down in the 4th position. Andreas is taken 2nd position. Hunter is up in the 3rd. Fantastic stuff there. Droffel is 4th there. As I'm not sure what happened there. It's just cut out the Lewis hairpin there. Is there damage on the McLaren? I think there's a bit of end plate damage there for the Droffel. That is a shame there for the McLaren driver. He had a great pit stop and a great pit window where he moved himself over to 2nd position, but that work has all been undone in the last couple of corners. What a shame there for Droffel there. He's going to come in the pits then. As I think that was a place where Schumacher crashed, didn't he, back in '96? And Droffel is in the pits, and what a shame then. And what tires are going to go on? He could potentially go have another set of medium tires to the end of the race. That should do it comfortably. But what a shame for Droffel. He's changing the nose cone on that McLaren, and he should be back out. He's going to be back out in front of Granty. I don't think he is actually. I think Granty and LH are very in close company as well. And look, Droffel there is coming out of the pits, and he's dropping down the order of the Ferraris in front of him as well. And he's dropped down into 8th position there for Droffel. What a shame there. We only caught the end of that. Did you catch what happened between Droffel and Andreas there, Noble? They was coming out the Lewis hairpin.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I just saw the yellow flag, and when I switched, the way it happened, so I didn't catch that. Jonathan and Murphy are fighting now. That could be interesting. 2 of the top 5s in the league fighting for a point.
It is, and only for a point as well, isn't it? It's unbelievable, isn't it? Jonathan there was leading this race, wasn't he? Had pole position, didn't he? Unfortunately, had a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car, and unfortunately, his race is just come undone slightly. We've got some battles now. We've got Grant, who's now under the cosh from RH44 as well. We've also got Brandon all over the back of Hunter as well, who's been promoted up to a 3rd position. This race is going to get very tasty in the final couple of laps. We'll say final couple of laps. We're on lap 23 out of 39. The second half of the race. Said I hope you've still got a lot of energy left in this race, because this is going to get very tense indeed. Then Jonathan is all over the back of Dan going into the C-French chicane. Then Noble, where is the place where you were thinking about having a go at overtaking around here? Was it the C-French chicane? What about turn 1? Is there any other places where you can overtake around here? It's a difficult track to overtake on though.
Oh, I think you have two opportunities, maybe turn 1 and out of the tunnel there. But apart from that, not really. I think
you have to be very bold anywhere else, don't you? Now it's been sort of taken down in Mirabeau, but I think that again you need a willing partner, don't you? As LH44 is now all over the back of Grant going into the Lewis hairpin. We've also seen Adrian Sutil as Force has retired from the session. And where is that Renault? Well, it looks like well, I'm not sure where the Renault is, to be honest. I can't see him on the track map. I think he's going to the pits. It's racing point. My apologies there. I'm looking for the wrong dot. Well, he's coming to the pits there, and he's now back out. And unfortunately, there, he's out of the race there. So it looks like Ford's there has also given up the ghost as well. Oh, and no! So RH44 is hit the back corner. He's damaged the end plate on that tires, and that is a lot of damage as well. He's gonna have to come back in the pits, I think, for the RRC. Oh my goodness me! He hit the inside, then he hit the outside, but he's staying out. But there's a Ferrari car behind him. Oh dear, that's not good at all for RH44. He had the bit between his teeth at that stage of the race, and he was really causing Granty some issues there as well. Got yellow flags there fluttering in the coming down the Mirabeau section, and I think it's just cars getting out of the way. Then I think it is just laps cars there doing a very good job today, and I've got to say hats off to everyone there. Very good, respectful driving out there indeed. Then Jonathan is now coming up to behind Nosey. He's only a second back from Nosey at the moment. Then in 9th position then. As Brandon there is just 6 tenths of a second away from Hunter at the moment. Then yellow flag is still out there in sector 2, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's Forza, isn't it? This Forza's ghost car is just parked somewhere, and it's just caused a yellow flag. But luckily, it's a ghost then. So
it's parking now.
It's finally parking, and it's decided to do half a lap there. So I think Codemasters showing that their utmost amazing code in there as always. So I think that they shouldn't really be called Codemasters, should they? It's unfortunate. So we have Forza parking at the end of the C-Front chicane now, which is unfortunate there for Forza. But he was running the points there for a couple of laps there, but it just didn't turn into anything. They're on board Jonathan at the moment, and the pole sitter there. It just shows how wrong this race can go from pole position there. It may look easy on TV, but you got to get there first, don't you know? But it's very difficult, this race, to complete at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have some experience myself now, but yeah, it's a tough one, especially when you also have to overtake people. It could be tricky at times. I think if you just manage to finish here, and if you finish in the point, good achievement. But yeah, it's actually been surprising how many DNFs there's been. Most of the DNFs are actually just been by retiring in the pits, not by actually crashing, so that's something positive, I guess.
I think that's a very good positive, isn't it? I think Appy's the only one that's crashed in, and that was at the beginning of the race there, where he probably didn't get his groove on, did he? So to speak there. So Appy there having a big old smash there as well. We just caught the end of an absolutely incredible move there from Ollie coming up the hill out of Sander Vault there. Brilliant overtake there from Ollie. Fantastic move. As LH44 is really strong with the understeer on that Haas now. Look at him, he's ricocheting off the barriers, isn't he? As he's just trying to turn there, isn't he? He's trying to keep up with the Ferrari there, as Droffer there, who has unfortunately been relegated down. And look at that, he had to brake there coming out of Raskas, otherwise he would have gone to the back of the Haas, and good reactions there. Jonathan is also all over the back of Nosey as well. This is going to get a very tasty final few laps here. Noble, I think you've joined me at the optimal time here. This is going to get a fantastic race, isn't it? I've got to say, Fisher's out in front there, all on his lonesome there, 22 seconds in front of second place Andreas there, but all behind him, it's anyone's game, isn't it? Who do you think's going to be the three men on the podium there?
I mean, Fischer just looks really dominating, so if he doesn't make any mistakes, he's gonna win it. And you've won, really pressuring you for Hunter. Maybe he can get a podium here on this race.
And Jonathan is just nipped by Nosey going down to the Mirabelle there. So I'm not sure if Nosey just waved him by there or what, but Jonathan does have a lot younger tyres there, doesn't he? He's on the medium tyres, Jonathan is, but it looks like that's an interesting place. And a ton of interest. And look at this there, Droffer is all over the back of LH44, as LH44 is really struggling there, isn't it? That Ferrari isn't getting away either, is it? And look, LH44 once again kissing the outside the back. And I've got to say, it's incredible how these guys can follow so close to each other, coming out the swimming pool section. Absolutely brilliant stuff as well. So coming to Raskas as well. Now all of a sudden the Ferrari is now under pressure as well. This is going to be good, isn't it? Three cars battling for positions around Monaco. It's exactly what we want to see. Nota's got a 3-second penalty there, as he couldn't keep within track limits there, unfortunately, there for the Williams driver as well. And now they come up the hill once again, and look at how it's 44. He's straight to go the hill, and Droffer's through, and he's gone through. That's an incredible manoeuvre there. LH44 just didn't get the purchase there. He's done 14 laps on the medium tyres, but my goodness me, that was an incredible move there. Noble, did you catch that? That was brilliant coming out of Sandoval.
Well, I must say, I noticed actually for touching the wall a bit, so he really didn't have any speed because of that, and he just took the opportunity to overtake him, and now he's going to hopefully overtake on this 20 lap of medium, so he should be in P6 if he can overtake him.
And Droffer just hit the wall coming out of Portier there. Did he damage his wing? No, he didn't now. So they do make him strong in Woken, don't they? And look, Ollie doing a very sporting thing there and letting him out of the way there. I've got to say, he's a better man than me. I would not have been, I'm never sporting at all, not by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, very good 70 there to let Droffer through there. Droffer's got a lot of pace on it, so LH44 and Ollie is going to go back in and lock horns once again then for 7th and 8th position there. That's going to be a juicy battle, isn't it? We're on board with Brandon at the moment there. Really starting to put the squeeze on Hunter in this final battle for the podium now, and it's as good as anyone's ball game, isn't it? It's not just about the pace, it's also about keeping it on track, keeping it on the straight now, making sure your bits are all put in the right direction, isn't it? As a lot of drivers have lost their bits in this race, haven't they? We've seen a lot of debris there on track one, but once again I echo Noble's thoughts there. That is absolutely incredible driving from everyone up and down the field. We have only had one crash in this race, and that was Appy there, and as I said, that's just because he didn't get into the groove of things. I think if Appy had a couple of laps under his belt, he would have been, I think he would still be in this race as well. Unfortunately, Red Bull still getting no points then at this stage of the championship. Then Fisher's got a 24-second lead then. I've got to say, he's pretty good, isn't he, around here? Fisher is, my goodness me, he's in a league of his own, isn't he? Fisher is. That was absolutely fantastic stuff. How difficult is it just getting to a rhythm around here, Noble? I know you're not a fan of this track, but Fisher, my goodness me, he's superhuman around here, isn't he?
He definitely is a good car, controls some amazing pace. I wish I had that pace really, but yeah. good job on him. He's a lot of pit stop clear, man, really. So great driving by him. Doesn't do anything wrong, it seems. Just has good line, good pace. Really solid drive by him. Deserve a win if he's gonna win it.
It's scary pace as well, isn't it? 25 seconds around here is absolutely night and day. It really is. And of course, Fisher took the lead there, didn't he? Went absolutely bonsai of an overtake there, coming into the seafront chicane there. He just licked the stamp and sent it as Ricardo did. So as Ricardo said, so to speak, and that was definitely a committed move, an all or nothing move from Fisher on the on Brandon. It was probably one of the best moves you'll see around Monaco. If you want to know how to overtake around Monaco, rewatch that, because that was absolutely fantastic stuff. It really was. Grant has done 27 laps on those hard tires. Murphy's done 6 laps on the medium tires there, so he is so he didn't go on the soft tires. Nosey's done 17 laps as well. Ollie has done 22 laps on those medium tires. They're gonna not pass an MOT test, are they? All the uses that these guys having. The guys at the front, the top 4, are going to the end, I think, on the hard tires then, as they will easily get to the end for this race from here with 10 laps to go then. Grant has done 27 laps on the hard tires. I'm impressed of how many tires he's got, but he has got a very quick McLaren behind him. We were on board with, he was on board with Granty then before unfortunately being dropped off there by the director. I was loving that shot then, but yeah, Droffer really putting the pressure down there, isn't he? Jonathan Cox moved up to 8th position, and now H44 is in the pit set, got on the soft tires. I think he might be going for the fast lap as well then. Now H44, so he might be very quick around here. Is he going to get in front of Murphy? Murphy is kind of all at sea at the moment, is he? Just underlining. He hasn't got the pace around here, has he, for the championship leader? But Jonathan, who is second in the championship, is not striking Ross Orange hot then. I think this might be a missed opportunity for Jonathan in this race, Noble, in terms of really putting the squeeze on Dan in the championship. He was on pole position. He's only 8th at the moment. You didn't see the full story, but he did get a drive-through penalty, which really put in the back of the middle pack there on this race. Do you think it's a missed opportunity for Jonathan there to really narrow that gap?
I mean, sometimes it's just an unlucky race. Monaco also isn't the easiest tracks to make a recovery, so yeah, I mean, unlucky by Jonathan. Thankfully for him, his championship contender is not in the points right now, so he's still going to be increasing the gap and not taking too much damage this time.
Yeah, it's definitely luckily for Jonathan. He's just got in front of Ollie as well, as Ollie's coming in the pits as well, and he's also changed the nose cone. I think that's Ollie. They're just responding now to how H44. So I think we're going to be get my words out, flip it out, Sean. Sort yourself out. We're going to put my chief back in. We're going to be involved in an absolutely cracking battle there for the final 2 points. Wow, H44 there showing incredible pace there with the undercut there, isn't he? But Murphy is in the points there, but it's going very nip and tuck between himself and the Ferrari, and he has come out in front, and the Ferrari's in the wall, and he's damaged the nose cone. He came in the pits there. Murphy has got out of the way there, and I'm not sure why Murphy's done that, to be honest, because that is a valuable point. They might have lost that point. Might come back to haunt him now for down there. It looks like he's lacking the float state, Dan is, which is quite surprising there. I know not a lot of people don't like this Monaco race there, but I would definitely have been fighting for all my worth there, Danis, but I reckon he might have. Oh, and Grimes there getting very squirreled out the swimming pool section there, and he is very much on the limit of those hard tires, isn't it? I reckon he might be in puncture territory there. But I think going back to Dan Murphy, I think he might have a problem with his equipment perhaps there to get out of the way there. So once again, very gentlemanly around here tonight. So fantastic stuff, politeness of the utmost there, brilliant stuff indeed there. But yeah, going back to the tire situation there for Granty. Noble, do you think the 30 laps around here on the hard tires, that's in puncture territory, do you think now? Do you think Granty's risking an awful lot to stay out there?
Well, you know, some setups actually do help with the tire wear. Sometimes 30 laps is quite a bit, and I think he is struggling, and I hope Femi doesn't get a penalty and he manages well, but he doesn't really have any pace on these tires anymore, so he could be getting close to it, but sadly we can't see that yet. Codemasters hit us up, make a tire wear for us so we can see their wear.
Yeah, because then it would sound like we know what we're talking about. Well, I never sound like I know what I'm talking about. Brandon's just dropped off the back there of Hunter by a second, and Fisher, it's coming to the pits, Grant, almost into the back there. Drawford did an amazing job there to not go into the back of that Mercedes. Absolutely fantastic reactions there from Drawford. I've got to say, Drawford's really good around here. He really is. He's flying around there. But that is an absolutely incredible. And into the pits comes Granty for the Mercedes team, and there we go then. So he is in the pits now then, and I think that scare into the wall there for the Mercedes team as he got a yellow flag there in sector 2, and that's a Ferrari. It's Ollie there who's just spun around then. As he's having a very difficult race there. Remember, he started in the top 5, he started right in the top 6, I believe, and unfortunately there he is spun around there, damaged the car as well, and he damaged the car going on the pit side, and Ollie there is really struggling to get some points. Murphy is back in the point set, so well done to Dan then. He just needs to keep going. Grant has come out. He's going to go for the fast lap as well, as that was a very slow Haas. Was he just coming out of the, has he damaged that nose cone, that wing there? So he got a lovely shot there coming out of the swimming pool section. Let's take a look. No, the Haas is in full. It's definitely still got all its wings pointed in the right direction. That's good stuff indeed. Hunter is going to be is definitely feeling the pinch there with just 5 laps to go, 5-6 laps to go in this Monaco Grand Prix there. So it's going to get very tasty indeed there, isn't it? Really is. And Droffer in 5th position there. He is 19 seconds away from this battle then, so unfortunately for Droffer, that extra stop has really cost him some valuable points here tonight there. Fisher there is 10 seconds away and he's trying to get fast up as well, so it's going between Grant and Fisher there. They have been rivals, haven't they, in other leagues as well. These two they seem to follow each other everywhere, don't they, Granty and Fisher there, and once again they might be rivaling for perhaps then the fastest lap there, as into the Lowe's hairpin we go there with Brandon then, and you can see there's no to overtake around here as our one to see front chicane then perhaps, and climbing all over the curb, but Brandon is there, isn't he? You can see, look at the Haas there sliding there. He is going to jinx it, but of course we're on lap 34 out of 35 out of 39. Had to set the fast of the race there. No safety cars in this race at all. Absolutely splendid driving, really good stuff indeed there. Absolutely good stuff indeed. As Exxon's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pits there. He's done 27 laps on the tires. That's on the medium tires. That's a really good stint there from Exxon. Fantastic tire usage there from Exxon. Really well done. Unfortunately, he ain't going to get anything for his efforts, though, is he? Brandon's really slowing down here as he's going up the hill there. He's also half a second there. Brandon is really struggling there. We're on board with Brandon. Oh, he's in the wall. He hasn't damaged his car, I don't think, but he's really dropping behind Hunter. And I'm not sure what's going on. He's at 2.5 seconds back there, Brandon is. He was all over the back of Hunter. I'm not sure what's going on with the Haas driver, but look at this, and he is not at full speed then, is he? And look, Hunter's gone then. This is not good at all for Brandon, as he's trying to get back up to speed then. We're on board with him. And I wonder if we've got some technical gremlins in Brandon's equipment here. And I do mean his steering wheel. So that's a shame there for Brandon. He has lost all that momentum. And maybe, do you reckon he might have just been like a feather in the throttle slightly there, and just trying to cool the car down and having one more final attack then before the end then. But dropping 2 seconds back is quite a large gap in these final stages of this race.
Oh, he's catching a better back up quickly, but yeah, I don't know what he did there. I hope it's all going to plan for him, because I think he really wants this podium position after his qualifying result. I think he might have to go for a dive bomb at the final corner, at the final lap. He has a decent enough gap for if it fails to do so, but of course, is he gonna do it?
Yeah, that's the question. To be honest, there, would you go for a dive bomb if the podium was on the line? I definitely would, but that's kind of very unsported, as we've all heard in this stream tonight. But would you go for a gap? Would you go for the dive bomb if a podium was on offer around Monaco? Surely you would, as a driver.
Well, it depends on the gap. Brendan has a 16-second gap, so there's not really much for him to lose. Like, he could lose maybe 10 seconds, but then he'd still be P4, so he might take the risk.
And of course,
yeah, I think if he is quick enough, he might overtake him before that, but I'm sticking away.
And Brandon, I think Brandon's done an absolutely fantastic job tonight. He really has. He was quick in qualifying, really quick in qualifying, wasn't he? Starting on the front row and now qualifying Fisher and H44 getting a 3-second penalty there for climbing over the curb there as he got a yellow flag.
Oh, Jonathan's found the wrong way. Jonathan is wound.
Oh!
He's lost his wing.
That's a lot of damage as well. And oh dear, and then Grant has just got by him. That is both end plates gone for Jonathan. And oh my goodness me. And Jonathan there is just really capping off a very difficult day as well. He's going to have to come in the pits. That's a lot of damage on that Toro Rosso. And well, yeah, he's only got 3 laps to go. I would try limping it to the end, surely. But Jonathan is in the pits then, and again, these drivers showing a very good respect for each other. They really are. I would have gone back around and just tried to limp my way to the end there. Nosey's got not a lot of wing left either, has it? It looks like these cars are falling apart now as the extreme of Monaco is really hurting these cars. Nosey is up to 7th now. Good stuff from Alex there. Really good stuff indeed there from the very experienced driver as well. Murphy is back in front of his championship rival. Ollie is back over the 10th as well. Jonathan is out of the points there for his front on set of soft tires. Well, got yellow flag in 2 as a yellow flag in 3 because Andreas has gone off into Rascast. Of course, that parking space is reserved for Schumacher and Raikkonen, isn't it? So to speak. There is they both had cover crop there coming out of Rascast, but yeah, Andreas with just a couple laps to go is now under pressure. Hunter has got a penalty there that might come back to haunt him in the battle with Brandon. Brandon is all over the back of him as well as Nosey is now under pressure there, but they're all ghosting there, but they're ghosting because of oh, and then Brandon's going to go for it, but Nosey there is too far back then as they come into the C French gate. There's the leader there. He's just coming to lap up. Fisher's coming to lap 7th position there. Is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Showing his speed there. Really well done indeed. Brandon there is really quick there. He's just coming to the back of Hunter in literally less than a couple of laps there. Jonathan's got a 5-second penalty there. A really bad day at the office there for Jonathan there, and unfortunately as the pole sit, and it looks like he's not getting any points at the moment. Now Murphy is getting 2 points and will extend his lead then to 52 points, which is actually 2 wins and 2 fastest laps there in front of Jonathan. Incredible stuff indeed. So Jonathan's back in the pits then, and I think that might be the end of the British Italian Drivers' Day. Unfortunately, there Hunter is all over the back then of Andreas. Andreas is really struggling then, isn't he? So he coming into the final lap then. Fisher's on the final lap then, and look at this then, the Renault. We've got the McLaren and we've got the Haas then all over the back of each other. We've also got LH and Nosey. This is going to be a great final up here in Monaco, hasn't it? This has been a very tense affair, hasn't it? Brilliant driving up and down, and Andreas there is and Andreas is letting Hunter through, is he? He is indeed. And yeah, so Andreas dropping down the 3rd position there. Once again, gentlemanly driving out there. Fantastic stuff. Sports. Oh, and LH44 clipping the barrier in the tunnel there. Oh, and he's also gone to the back of Nosey as well. Very good car control. My goodness me. And Darren saying, got to go hard or go home. Dive bomb him in incoming there. I think that he agrees with you, Noble. And I agree as well, and I love it. Jonathan saying, God damn it there, as, he's had a very difficult day, hasn't he? Andreas has actually let Brandon through as well, so that is brilliant stuff. Fisher wins the Monaco Grand Prix. A fantastic drive from Fisher. Absolutely incredible to be half a minute in front of Hunter. Is absolutely amazing stuff. Dan Murphy going up to 7th in the end then. So well done to Dan there, really keeping it clean there. Ollie 8th, LH 9th, Nosey in 10th position there. Naughty boy there, Nosey there for getting the penalties. Exile will finish 11th in the end then. Who is going to be second then? This is going to be going very tight, coming over the line then. And now this we come through the final anti-notes then. Hunter is going to be second, is he? Let's find out. Hunter is second, or is he? No, Brandon's second, and Hunter is third. Andreas in 4th position. Droffer is 5th. And Granty is in 6th position then. Noble, what a race then. Of course, you joined us in the commentary box just over half distance, I believe. But who was your driver of the day from what you said in the second half of the race? There was some good racing out there and very gentlemanly as well. Impressive.
Oh, driver of this because from Fisher just has a really dominant drive. Barely did anything wrong. Fast that. Can't really say much about Fisher. I wouldn't know who my drive today would be. Don't know, pretty close.
It's a very difficult one, isn't it? Because Fisher's basically walked away with this, hasn't he? I think his overtake on Brandon was absolutely crucial in the opening stage of this race. It really was. And I unfortunately missed that one, Noble there, but it was a cracking overtake. And I think that that's what really won in the race, there, wasn't it? Because as soon as he got by Brandon, he just walked away and did an absolutely fantastic job. Fished it. Brandon had a cracking race, I think, in second position. Really good stuff there, indeed, then. And Hunter also had a brilliant race as well. I got to say, then, that basically doesn't really answer any of our questions, really, does it? Me and Noble basically on the fence there, isn't it? We're really struggling to find out who driver of the day is, isn't it? Because there's been some absolutely fantastic driving up and down the field all day today. But let's take a look at the final classification then from the Friday night race and a part of the RRC franchise. Fisher there winning from third on the grid then. No penalties for Brandon there, so good driving there from Brandon. Fantastic stuff. I think there was no penalties from Dan as well. No, there isn't. Brilliant driving. Fantastic stuff. Hunter in third position, Andre in fourth position, then we got Droffer fifth, Granty sixth, Murphy seventh, Ollie eighth, LH ninth, Nosey in 10th position, and XR in 11th position then. I'd say driver of the day for me might actually be between might be Hunter or Fisher. They're really good stuff from both of those guys. And don't forget Brandon as well for not having a penalty. Brilliant stuff. Retirements, Jonathan had a very difficult day. Forza, Noble, Stringy, Sam and Appy. And Appy's the only one that crashed in this race. The others the others retired there because the fortune just wasn't shining on them today then. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. Noble, just give us your final thoughts on that race then, especially the second half of the race. I got to say then, it was very good racing out there, but more impressive than that was very gentlemanly as well, wasn't it? We've seen drivers there giving each other space there, no accidents at all, apart from Happy in the first lap there. Really well done from all of them out there.
Yeah, a really good ride for everyone. Yeah, what can you say? Good racing, plenty of fights for what you can call fights in Monaco. Barely any crashes, so I think good standard set by Gold.
A very good standard. You can say that's the gold standard, can't you? Brilliant stuff indeed there. Jonathan, just to round off the comment section, Jonathan saying I was enjoying that race. Good pace, but never mind. On to the next race. Darren saying, yeah, your look's got to change soon, Jonathan. And talking of the next race, we are in Belgium, as Noble enlightened me earlier on. And the Belgium, I think, is the best racetrack in the world. It has everything. Straights, a beautiful chicane, an amazing Eau Rouge and the Radion section is brilliant stuff indeed there. And there's a brilliant middle section where you're flowing, isn't it? And Puyog as well, fearsome corner, and Blanchimont, as all those names just roll off the tongue, don't they? Looking forward to that race next week. Noble, are you looking forward to Belgium in a week's time?
Well, yeah, it's a good track to race on. I really enjoy it. Got a bit of everything: slow corners, fast corners, long straights, always ready on, of course, tricky corners. So I'm looking forward to it, to be fair, at least more than this race.
I don't think everyone else will actually share that sentiment as well. And on that note then, we are going to Belgium in a week's time. I hope you enjoyed the stream tonight of gold and silver. I'm sure that you'll be able to find silver stream somewhere. I think hopefully it'll be in the stream on in Discord, hopefully. But thank you all for joining us. It's been great stuff. Thank you for all your comments as well, keeping me and Noble very much on our toes, especially me then, as I go wandering off and talking about all kinds of nonsense then. Join us in a week's time while we'll be back in Belgium with some more Friday night racing.